Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on our YouTube account and we're going to be looking at the Draconic heroes. Now, a question that I get from a lot of you guys is, should we build the heroes? Should we wait? I'm going to go through kind of both scenarios that we're seeing right now within the Dragon Forge, and essentially making progression in there is going to require you to get the heroes. Now, also, there is a stamp reset. So the Dragonborn stamp reset compensation, I don't know what happened when we went ahead and went into the Dragonborn, essentially the shop. It showed there was like 70 or 80 hours until it was done. So we would have to wait a numerous amount of days to actually get our Dragonborn stamps. That way we can actually build a couple more heroes. So let's go ahead and collect up our resources in here. And then I want to hop over, and like I said, I want to check it out from really kind of a perspective. That is where I'm getting the question. So looking at the Dragon Paragon or Paragoda, this is essentially where you do get the heroes. Now, when it comes to the wish list, there is only one primary hero on here, which is Nyla. When you look at this, when you look at the ability to actually build out these heroes, the only hero that is really showing promise, that is showing a really big priority, is of course Nyla, and Nyla is the one we're seeing in a lot of different places, including the Cursed Realm, the Nightmare Corridor, and the Treasure Scramble. We are seeing this hero used in PvP. We're seeing it used even in regular campaign formations. We are still seeing this hero used, so definitely one that you want to go ahead and you want to build. Now, when it comes to Cassius and when it comes to Polina, we are not seeing them used in regular combat, in regular gameplay, but they are very, very much required if you're looking to progress within the Dragon Forge, which we'll look at in just a minute. So, of course, Nyla. Now, one thing to note is if you come in here and you take out all of these heroes and you put just Nyla in here by herself, you are going to have a much higher probability of just pulling copies of Nyla. You can pull copies of the other two heroes, but overall, you will have the ability to pull Nyla much faster, which I highly recommend, because when you're getting the Draconis heroes, she is, again, the number one that you do want to prioritize. And of course, you can see we have the other two heroes here already at Mythic. This is through regular summons. Now, I used a lot of scrolls to go ahead and build these out. And again, we'll kind of break it down a little bit, but I used a lot of diamonds and a lot of scrolls to actually build these out. We purchased a couple of scrolls to get them built up to where we have them today. Now, of course, when you start looking at the Dragonheart Temple, this is the one which players are kind of on the fence with, because you have the choice between Hilduin and you have the choice between Gwen. I wouldn't build any of the regular heroes in here out of this method. Now, out of utility-wise, looking at Hilduin, looking at Gwen, we are seeing a lot more utility out of Gwen because of the damage that she's bringing to multiple game modes. But of course, because of the damage that she's bringing, she does require a very, very high build-out, which means that if you're going to invest in her, you're going to have to build her out very high. Now, of course, with Hilduin, it seems like we're getting another 4 free copies of Hilduin, which is going to be awesome. That is going to take him over Ascended, giving us a 5th free copy of Hilduin over the next, I guess, couple months, the next 4 events. And we also don't know what's coming in the Dragon Forge Trials with the event that is going to be kind of wrapped around it. So getting these heroes built are kind of imperative. Now, a lot of players have said they're saving all the resources. They're essentially saving all of the resources until we get 2 more Draconis heroes. That way we have the ability to really build them out. If you're doing that, so if you're going in with the methodology of saving all the scrolls, saving all the insignias, essentially you're not going to be able to make any progression within the Dragon Forge Trials, meaning that you're going to be foregoing a lot of resources in this game mode, which I do not recommend personally, because when you start looking at the reward calculations, and like I said, we just got those Dragon Bone stamps, the Dragon Bone stamps are going to give us the ability to actually go in the Forge and get more copies of heroes. So again, it's kind of like a catch-22, where if you're saving your resources, you cannot progress within the Dragon Forge Trials. If you cannot progress within those Dragon Forge Trials, you're not going to be able to get the resources to build and summon up these heroes. Again, it's kind of a catch-22 there, because you're not going to have the ability to get some resources, and you're going to have the ability to essentially either build them and get the resources, or not build them, not get the resources to build them. So again, I would really recommend at this point in AFK Arena to go ahead and build them. Now, of course, you have to pay attention to prices. So looking in here, you can see this one is at 180. So and again, this is 150, this is 150. Biggest thing to get out of here, and really, in my opinion, the only thing to get out of here, is the insignias. Now, these, of course, are going to give us the ability to summon either Hilduin or Gwen, which are our two biggest focuses. But getting these out of here and getting these on a regular basis, again, is going to be the only way to build up in really on a big picture Hilduin or Gwen, which again, I recommend building out Gwen. Now, of course, this resets. So right now you can see it resets in 23 days. We actually get more of our Dragon Bone or Dragon Bone stamps every single week. So they are going to carry over up into the point of this refreshing, meaning that right now I'm going to save the other 50 that I have. With the 50 that I have, if I get another 200, it's going to give me 250. So I'll actually be able to buy out some more insignias, and I could also buy out some of our scrolls if we needed to actually continue building out these heroes. Now, also something to remember in this game mode is, again, if you're making progression, not only are you getting resources like the Dragon Speak emblems and the diamonds for going through here and making progression, they are also giving you the Draconis summon. So you're going to have the ability to actually go in here, buy out or build more heroes through the acquisition here and also getting the cards here. So again, it's kind of a catch-22 where you're not going to be able to make as much progression in here, meaning you're not going to be able to build out the heroes as fast. And overall, I would rather stack up some of the resources once I made a little progression in here and ultimately getting through 8. This is kind of the baseline, in my opinion, is getting through trial number 8. So if you have your heroes essentially built up to get through trial 8, at that point, you can just stock and save all your resources, waiting to see exactly what is coming down the pipeline. Now, for me personally, I am building out Gwen, like I said, the reason being to be competitive in a lot of different game modes, the Curse Realm, the Nightmare Corridor, things of that nature with building out Gwen. So with 10 insignias, maybe we'll get another copy. We've been getting pretty close. Unfortunately, it is not going to be a copy this time, but we did get some more resources, got some more Dragonforge emblems, which we've been kind of saving. So I was kind of on the fence with the Dragonforge emblems because we've been building out Gwen. She's at 34 right now, and these are the ones that we have been using. Now, with that being said, we have 942 of these epic emblems, which means they've been sitting out here. Now, normal heroes, what we build is if you're getting above a plus 30 signature item, going from 30 to 31, you are going to use essentially these epic Dragon Speak emblems. From 32 to 38, you're going to use these red emblems. And then, of course, switching back to the epic emblems to finish out 39 and 40. Now, overall, because I have so many more of these, I'm going to use them once right here to go ahead and just build her up. And she is getting an incredible amount of stats. And then, of course, she gets physical pierce, insight, and accuracy, which is just going to further amplify the damage that she does. Because, of course, 30 points of physical pierce is pretty big when you're building out a hero like this. And then, of course, we did also build out some of the tier 4 gear that we got out of the events. Now, we know with the Draconis heroes, it could also be, and keep this in mind, that it could be months before we see another Draconis hero. So unfortunately, you know, it could be a considerable amount of time because we know right now the next hero is going to be Rimuru, which I watched some of the anime. It's really cool. I'm in the, I think, second episode right now. But we're going to be seeing the Demon Lord Rimuru. That is going to be coming next. In my opinion, it is going to be followed by an awakened hero, which means it could be another, again, probably month and a half before we see another hero, which could be a Draconis hero, might not be a Draconis hero, meaning you're not going to be able to essentially build them up at that point if you're saving all your resources, because you're not getting a lot of the resources out of different game modes. So again, the question that I wanted to look at was, should I wait? Should I build them? In my opinion, you should build them, guys. AFK Arena is a game of kind of constant progression. So as you're going through here, as you're getting a lot more copies, and that is why even looking right here with Cassius and looking at Polina, I have a lot of copies. I have a little bit of food down here with Gorgie. Overall, super cute little Draconis heroes. But with Gorgie, I've been just kind of sitting on the food. I got them both up to Mythic, which I thought was a good kind of stopping point for them, seeing the impact, seeing if they're going to be used. I'm just going to continue to get more and, again, kind of slowly build them, because if a new Draconic hero comes out, I'll be able to summon that hero. I can already be sitting on a lot of food to go ahead and build them up, making it easier to build them. And of course, getting my resources that I am currently out of the Dragonforge makes a really big difference on the progression that we're making within AFK Arena itself. But all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.